Have you ever wondered how Satan, a being created perfect by God, became the embodiment of evil? If God is flawless, how did wickedness seep into our world? Where did Satan's initial desire for malevolence come from? In the beginning, God created Satan, like all angels, through his Son, Jesus Christ. John 1 verses 1-3 tells us, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made." Every creature owes its existence to God, and nothing came into being without him. It's crucial to understand that all of God's creations were perfect, including Lucifer, who later became Satan. If that's the case, how did imperfection and evil find their way into the world? How did humanity and even some angels become tainted? How did Satan transform into a malevolent force? Today, we'll explore these profound questions. The fall of Satan from grace is truly astonishing. To grasp this, let's listen to the prophet Isaiah, who spoke about Satan's origin and fall. "How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn! You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit." Ezekiel painted an even more vivid picture of Satan's original perfection and his fall into darkness. He said of Satan, "You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone adorned you: sardius, topaz, diamond, beryl, onyx, jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald with gold. The workmanship of your settings and sockets was in you. On the day you were created, they were prepared. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God. You walked among the fiery stones. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. Through your widespread trade you were filled with violence, and you sinned. So I drove you in disgrace from the mount of God, and I expelled you, guardian cherub, from among the fiery stones." When Satan rebelled against God, he not only incurred God's wrath but also persuaded a portion of the angels to join his rebellion. Some estimates suggest that about 1/3 of the angels followed Satan. At this point, Satan and his angels truly became evil, opposing God, his divine plan, and humanity. The word perfection captures Satan's exceptional personal and moral qualities at his creation. He was not only full of wisdom but also radiated stunning beauty. He held the seal of excellence, being perfect in beauty and blameless in his ways from the day of his creation. Both Isaiah and Ezekiel testify that he held the highest position among all created beings in the universe. It's also clear that he had a special close relationship with God, residing on God's holy mountain, a place symbolizing God's visible glory. Yet, without detailing the process, the account reveals that wickedness was found in this seemingly perfect angel. How did this happen? The best clue is in Ezekiel 28 verse 17. "Your heart became proud on account of your beauty, and you corrupted your wisdom because of your splendor. So I threw you to the earth. I made a spectacle of you before kings." Satan's proud and self-centered nature overshadowed his wisdom. He became obsessed with himself, admiring his own beauty instead of focusing on God's glory. This led to his downfall. This story underscores the danger of pride and self-obsession. In Luke 10 verse 18, Jesus described witnessing Satan's fall from heaven like lightning. To fully understand what Jesus meant, let's examine the context of his revelation. It was when 70 disciples returned after Jesus had sent them to preach and prepare the way for Jerusalem. Filled with joy and perhaps personal pride, they reported to Jesus, "Lord, even the demons submit to us in your name." Jesus warned them against pride, saying, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." Jesus cautioned them against excessive pride, indicating that their delight in authority over demons should not lead to arrogance. Pride is a sin that can lead to other sins, just as Lucifer's arrogance led to his fall and expulsion from heaven. The disciples should learn from Lucifer's fall and remain humble in their ministry. As a consequence of his misconduct and rebellion, God dethroned Satan and expelled him from his privileged position on the holy mountain of God to the earth. After his original sin, his punishment awaits him in the form of eternal fire, as mentioned in Matthew 25 verse 41. Satan introduced evil into the world despite being created perfect because wickedness originated in him as he developed pride and arrogance, turning something beautiful and perfect into sin and imperfection. Here are some of the things that pride led Satan to contemplate and attempt against God. He said, "I will ascend to heaven," even though he already had access to God's presence. Satan sought to reside in God's place. "I will raise my throne above the stars of God." The stars symbolized the angels, and Satan desired to elevate his authority above other celestial beings. "I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly." This indicates Satan's aspiration to rule over all matters. "I will make myself like the Most High." This statement represents the pinnacle of his rebellion, showing his audacious ambition to be equal to God. Due to the rebellion caused by his pride and self-absorption, Satan's personality underwent a profound change, from perfect to corrupt. The holiness he once had from his Creator was lost, replaced by corruption. The exact moment of Satan's fall isn't explicitly revealed in the Bible. However, we can deduce a time frame based on biblical evidence. At some point after the original creation of the heavens and the earth, Satan and his angels fell. It's uncertain whether Satan fell before or after humanity's creation, but it's clear his fall occurred before Genesis 3, where Adam and Eve's temptation is recorded. Satan successfully deceived and seduced some angels to join his rebellion, leading to their permanent moral decay. After this seduction, there was no turning back, and they were condemned to a life of sin and destruction. Revelation 12 verse 4 symbolically describes how a third of the stars of heaven, representing the angels, were swept away by the dragon, Satan, in his attempt to thwart God's plans. It's crucial to remember that the same Bible that records the origin of evil also portrays God as completely just and perfect in all his ways. He views sin as extremely wicked and worthy of judgment. God neither promotes nor perpetuates sin. As stated in James 1 verse 13, "When tempted, no one should say, 'God is tempting me.' For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he tempt anyone." Temptation doesn't come from God but arises from our own weaknesses. God is beyond temptation and doesn't tempt anyone. Satan's beauty became a source of pride that ultimately led to his expulsion from God's presence. His own pride and self-importance corrupted his mind. He's still driven by pride, seeking to usurp what belongs to God. Understanding Satan's pride serves as a cautionary lesson for us, helping us avoid such pride in our own lives through the empowering presence of the Holy Spirit.